That should make Devin, does that help you?
Yeah, it does.
Does this mean that I can't say obscenities anymore?
Yeah.
Well, this
Okay,
is just to
I
make
guess that's
Devin's
fair.
life a little easier. You can say any dirty stuff you want. And we got both Sarahs on.
I don't want to offend Ken Gay, so can't have that.
Careful.
No, because
I
he'll
can't
kick you out of
do
the
it.
will.
See, I'm retired, so my wine comes out every afternoon, like about 3:30. And
Look at
Sounds
that
like
self-control.
Jeff's wine's coming out even earlier.
We're supposed to be retired for that?
No, you don't have to be retired. If you're not retired, they call it alcoholism.
Oh,
Shoot.
I Devin like that one. So why don't we just jump right in? So Jason's not going to make the call tonight because he is, where is he now? Over Minneapolis or something like that. He's on a flight tonight. And he got the information, Ken, you were looking for about the insurance.
Oh, good.
So our insurance through sports, and I forget the exact name. It's either sports insurance or insurance sports, but it's the
sports insurance.
Yeah. So we actually, before the event, up to about a day before, we can fill out the insurance waiver needed for however many participants, however many bodies we need to work the event. So it's very, very easy to deal with. And then that sets us up so we can, there's no limit to the number of volunteers or other participants or whatnot for the insurance.
So that covers all of the officials and everybody that's basically helping the event for USTSA, right?
Yep. And what we can do is we can give ourselves a couple weeks out. We can just kind of overestimate a little bit, because I'm sure the numbers are going to be, they're pretty easy for us to figure out. And we've never had enough volunteers. So that part's pretty easy to deal with. But what's nice is we can adjust that from an event to an event. And that's pretty nice, actually.
So what are the coverages that they offer?
I believe he said it is 2 million group, 1 million individual. So our previous policy was 3 million, 1 million.
Okay.
I don't know which one, but this one's 2 million, 1 million, which I know even Vail with its uppity policy that still works. There's no ski resort that's requiring more than a 2 million, 1 million.
Got it.
So that's good. And that's not including the board insurance, which is separate. So we still have that. The board insurance is year round, not by the event. It's just preset. And that's the $799, I think $799, I think it is. And I think the other ones, I want to guess, right, $1,500, but Jason told us last time. But what's nice is that saves us like $3,000.
Nice.
That means we don't have to worry about going bankrupt next year. So then we jump on to, I had a family reach out to me, and I finally got the information. Elizabeth and, oh goodness, 2 gals are interested in joining US Telemark. And right now, so they have a dual citizenship, French American. So they both have US passports. And They would like to join our team so they can also run the World Cup.
Are these folks that have been in contact with Seb?
Yes. Seb's the one that referred them over to us. They would be working with Seb over there.
Yeah, it sounded like there was a few people. I didn't know if it was 2 or 3 individuals that would be.
It's 2, but there are 3 people that have reached out. The parent reached out. So, and it took us a while to coordinate, being that WhatsApp does not convert to English. So it took us a little while to figure that out. So at some point we should think about whether we like that idea and have them join us. And I've already been in touch and let them know that we, as a board, we'd take a look at it and find out whether we like that or not. And then they would be doing the same as everybody else. There'd be a competitive membership and then a team membership. So
they're dual citizens, French, US. Why is there a reason they're not? And I have nothing against them coming onto the US side, but I'm just wondering, why not go with the French side?
They live here full time.
Oh, in the
they
US.
They just happen to be, they both live in California. And they're kind of doing what Sam Garber's doing. They're over at their previous home, skiing some World Cup events. They're not going to be doing the whole series like Sam is, but they're going to be over there a bunch, enough so they're not able to join any of the European. Like they can't join the French team because they're not residents of France at the moment. They're actually residents of the US, even though they have dual citizenship.
Got it. Okay.
I have no idea how they ski, but I can't imagine Seb would recommend them if they couldn't turn and stop at least.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any concerns. I guess my only question is like, I have no idea their capabilities, and in general, that's what we're going back and forth on, is like how we just determine D team, C team, A team, to use the old terminology, or I guess it's national team, World Cup team, or development team, is based on ability and based on points. So
let me do this real quick. I'm going to jump over to WhatsApp. I'll still have you guys, but I'm going to take a look at, where did it go? It moved. Hold on. Screwed around with my phone and it moved on me. There it is. I'm going to pull up their passports and see. Oh, geez.
What are you looking at?
I actually have a copy of their passports. 2006.
Okay. And what's the recommended team that they're being, I guess, asking for?
They're not. They want to ski for us. They're not actually asking anything specific.
Well, in theory, they're asking for the World Cup team because they want to ski over there, right?
Well, World Cup or national team can ski in World Cups, but
with a waiver, right.
Development team would need a waiver. So any 3 teams would work. If they're on the D team, we would want to give them a waiver to participate in that World Cup, to make sure that, yes, we think that you are ready for the world stage or the World Cup level.
Yeah. Right. And are we then asking them to, if they're mostly based here, are we expecting them at nationals? Like what is the expectation that we're setting if they're not planning on being over there for the whole season and they want to be on the US team?
Well, let's rewind a moment here. This is a question I'm going to need to ask Ken. So Ken, I have June 21st as a birthday for turning 16. And the other one is January for turning 16. So they're both just 16. When does their birthday need to occur, Ken, for to be?
Don't they have to be 16 in September for this season?
Oh, cool. Well, if that's the case, hold on here.
Either
That
September,
could totally
January
be.
1st. I'd have
It's
to confirm.
January.
I'm thinking it's on January 1st.
All right.
But either
Well,
way, neither one of them make it. So
okay. Well,
January
that would-
1st of the previous season.
Of the current season in this case, they would have to be 16 January 1st, 2023
yep,
to compete in the 2022-2023 fifth season.
yep.
And we're good because they both turned 16 already.
So they're currently 16. They're turned
currently
16 back in June.
Yep.
Yeah, June and January. So okay, so
And they're
there.
fine.
So we don't. So that's a moot point. Good. I just wanted to make sure because we did have that one problem at Sugarbush.
Cedar.
Yeah, poor. And talk about turning them off the industry. Okay, so racing's not a problem. So the question we need to ask them is their intention, and if they're going to be around for making nationals. Now I do know very likely Sam Garber is not making nationals.
Yeah. And we set the expectation or we've set the precedent that that's fine because
Well, he
he's
asked
over
ahead
there.
of time.
Right.
Yeah.
And, we've made that same exception for people who are doing less. So I think.
So what I'll do is I'll ask Alyssa and Elizabeth, if what their intentions are, if they're going to be in the U.S., when nationals are, and what was the name of the gentleman, the young guy that raced for us like this in the past?
Antoine, but not Antoine. It's an A name.
Yeah.
An A French name. Yeah.
So what would we? And what I'll do is we can, as a board, take a vote just through email before I confirm this. When do they need to have their FIS submitted, just in case, so I can stay ahead of the curve? That's to Ken.
They
or
should
Jeff.
have it now. You can go as late as 2 weeks prior to the FIS event if you want to really drag it out, but I would recommend.
Oh, I'm trying to see if I can get it done before the end of November.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain to do. So
yeah,
I would
I still submit for my FIS license.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. Keith, I would, in addition to asking about nationals, it sounds like they're both fairly young. Seems like it may be good to do, like a D team might be a reasonable team for them to look into. Is it worth sending them the contract and saying, hey, being on the D team means this list of requirements. If you cannot meet these requirements, you need to be asking for waivers from the board. I know we've set precedent in the past. I still think we should have that discussion or that vote, whether or not those waivers would apply or not. But that's kind of my 2 cents, is because nationals is one piece of that contract.
Yep. And I mean, I like the idea of the development team myself, because it doesn't necessarily mean they can't go. And to be straight honest, there's not a lot that we should do to try to prevent it from happening, but we should definitely set some guidelines. Because our biggest challenge right now is hoping we have events, hoping we have athletes. With Vail basically across the board cutting lots and lots and lots of outside stuff, not just at Mount Snow, but across their entire company. More and more, we're losing a third of the country to access. That was a big speech they gave us at Rehire at Mount Snow, that Vail is in the process of looking internally for events rather than external. And then me reaching out and contacting, trying to get anything to happen in the East has been a huge bust. But so what I'll do is I'll reach out to the two of them, and if I can get an unedited version of the development contract. Actually, if you could just send me the 4 contracts. 4? Yeah. But I'll send them over the development team contract if you guys like that, and then we'll proceed from there. Cool.
And then
So,
you said, as far as skiing ability, that Seb is vouching for them and has, seen them ski and thinks that they are ready for the world stage and that World Cup level.
He recommended it. I trust what I.
It sounds
I don't know
like
him well, but I trust him.
They'd be skiing as juniors. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nicer for them anyways. They've never raced the World Cup, so.
Yeah, if they know what they're getting into, and Seb's willing to say, yeah, I think these guys are good enough, and yeah, that's kind of what I would need to see from just making sure you don't get like a brand new skier jumping into it. So I think that'll work great.
Oh God, yeah.
So where do they live in the U.S.?
Oh God, somewhere in California.
Okay,
I could go look it up, but they're.
I was just curious what region.
Yeah. Closer to you than me. Then the other element, which is good, is Mark Chan has reached out and wants to set up a fun training day, and we don't have a where yet, but we're tentatively looking at December 10th and 11th, and it's very much off the cuff at the moment. There's not going to, other than just free skiing, but there's, we're at least getting together. And I think I sucked in Sarah Godick, Sarah Carley. I just told her about it as a maybe. Jason Naylor, he's like, sure, I'll quit work.
I mean, it's a Saturday and I have an Epic Pass. So if it's at Mount Snow, then.
Well, and the other thing is I can get, I don't have a lot of them, but I can get access to half-off tickets for anybody that doesn't have a pass. And I was going to talk to you guys before I sent out an email to the whole team. Sarah, I need the list of who is supposedly on the team.
Yeah, contracts and insurance cards are uploaded in Dropbox.
Yay. And yeah, I'm going to send out an email probably in a amount of time to the team and let them know about that. I don't have a specific time. I'll probably fall asleep after this. Nope, I don't have anything else. Any changes on Gunstock, Sarah? We're still moving forward?
We're still moving forward. I still need to send them what they're asking for. I think one of the pieces that we hopefully still might have is what pricing was at the previous Gunstock Nationals or at the previous race, if that's somewhere in our history somewhere. By chance. They said that they can try to pull stuff too, but then, I need to send them a basic itinerary. So the draft I'll send to you, Keith, and then we can move that forward with them. But they're also requesting, like the prices and like what it was back when they did nationals last time as a rough estimate to get started. Cause I mean, he understands that, we're small.
I don't know that I'll have national prices because that was under Josh Lanzetta. So
right.
No.
I do.
That was further back.
No, 2012. That was Josh, right?
No.
Yeah, that was Josh. Josh was the president that year.
Yeah, Maybe he got voted in that year.
Oh,
He got voted in that year.
Got it.
It was the Hobbs.
It was.
Yeah, the Hobbs were still
Wow.
fully involved.
Okay. But I do.
We could give him Crotchet 2 years ago. The last time we did Crotchet, and we could give him
Eldora.
Oh my God,
So
Eldora.
I have Eldora and Crotchet numbers, and then I also have those itineraries and like volunteer and like staffing spreadsheets. And those are all either in Dropbox or some of them are in Google Drive, so they're easy to share. So let me pull up what I have and I'll drop them to your Gmail.
You're looking for the basically the race program and the volunteer spreadsheets and such.
Yeah, I have them open.
Okay.
Just need to grab Sarah's Gmail.
Yeah, they're definitely, I mean, Gunstock is, there's no signs of them, like saying no, or backing out. They just need what we want. And then they're going to basically be like, all right, let's make this work as best we can. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The other thing is Mark Chan is very interested in trying to figure out how he can help make this happen more.
Right.
And so if we come up with ideas, I think once we get a group meeting, we can start trying to suck in more people. Oh, Instagram.
So hold on, before you get into social media,
let's go back to
Gunstock.
Yeah.
So are they including, what all is going to be included in them hosting the event? Will they have timing? Will they have
E-nets, gates,
course materials? We'll have we'll have gates, we'll have everything that we need to run an event.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would be in question would be if we were going to do a parallel, how we would figure that out, because they don't necessarily have anything set up. They have a space that's wide enough, like a Tiger's a decently wide hill, although they're trying to move all the racing over to Cannon. So he even thought that we would be probably racing on Cannon. Because they've improved that hill this year specifically for racing. So, and nothing's for that hill right now. So,
yeah.
So in addition to timing equipment, do we have a certified timer that knows how to run VOLA, and we don't go through the challenges that we did last time at Crotchet Mountain?
I can double check on that one. But I have a lot of faith in the Gunstock race crew, since I know them pretty well.
Great.
But and they've been in the business for a long time, and they run a lot of big races at Gunstock as well. So
okay, as long as we get the personnel to go with it. A lot of times they'll give you the equipment, they'll give you, but you don't get the bodies and the knowledge.
Yeah, I think they want to be involved. So
perfect. I like that.
They have like really only good memories of us from being there last time. Like they're excited to have it come back. So I don't know, Jeff, were you just thinking about something bad? No,
I actually didn't attend that nationals at Gunstock.
Really?
Yeah, that was the only nationals in a long time that I haven't attended. I don't even know how many years, but yeah, that's the one that I did not. It's the 1 year I wasn't on the team.
That was my first. A long time ago.
That was my first. I also sat through the close-up. I also sat through the close-up meeting.
Oh, that's right.
What's really nice is your view, Sarah, coming from them is way different than what we were told.
Really?
So yeah, no.
Even
so
from
we were.
How?
I wasn't in touch with anybody, but they were saying that they didn't want us back.
But then we went back like the next year for a race.
Doesn't matter.
Huh.
Maybe they went away. And they've had a lot of, since 2012, they've had a lot of upper management have turned over.
Yeah.
Mostly because
in the
of
past
the guys
6
that
months,
have been asked
they've had a lot of management changeover.
No, not managers. The
Commissioners.
owner, the committee people.
Commissioners.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made them go away.
Yeah. And unfortunately, one of those ex-commissioners he still is going to be training with us at Ragged.
Which one?
Dr. Strang.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's slow.
He's slow, but he's annoying. And I'm sure everyone's going to give him crap. I mean, he was one of the ones that got kicked out, that he was, basically like they told him to leave. So.
Hey, you could be dealing with Peter Ness. He's way
That's
worse.
true.
At any rate, we're getting off track there.
Hey Sarah, one thing, as Dad was talking and you guys were talking about the equipment stuff, I think either you or Keith had like a list of, hey, if you're going to run a race, here's some good things to check and make sure that you guys have access to. Do you have access to that list, Sarah?
She may not, but I do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking, that would be a really helpful, if we're creating a document package to give them out and say, hey, here's a proposed program. That's how long we would need the hill for. Here's all the equipment that we would need. Here's the volunteer list that we would like. And by the way, we need a certified timer and we need the human bodies. Can we provide it? It would just be a nice, good, clean document package for it all.
And then your dad created that for Sugarbush for that, and yep. I held on to it.
Awesome. Yeah, and then I'm thinking, Dad, this
better
is
look
maybe...
at that again.
If it has your stamp, I'm good with it. I don't need to look at it at all.
We'll just send it over without looking at it. How about that? No, I'm not going to do that.
And then, Sarah, you mentioned that they're going from one hill to another. Do you know if this is a bad question, Dad, you're going to maybe laugh at this one, but do you know if there's homologation for that new hill?
They are. It's not a new hill. It's an updated hill with homologation. I've already checked that one.
Cool. Awesome.
And that one, if they do actually move us over, there is a higher start as well to that hill. Unfortunately, you do have to cross a goat path. I've only raced it that way in like one race in my life, but it would definitely add the vertical for the classic. So
cool.
And awesome. That goat path that she's talking about is quite a bit of natural jump.
It is.
Yeah, I was thinking like, hey, if that's a jump anyway, cool.
Great. No, you don't even need to make a jump. You're leaving the ground.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah, because I think that's
it's like
the slalom training hill. It's a cliff into the goat path.
Sweet.
It's very sporty. Steep, and then it's goat path, and then it's like back into the hill.
You're saying that my old man knees will love it. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, pre-jump.
Only the landing. You will come to the ground.
Cool. Sorry. I know that was another sidetrack, but I figure if we're doing a document package, that would be a good thing.
If they do in fact move us to Cannon versus Tiger, it would be an improved hill space. So
sweet.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
So Cannon is homologated with a start. I'm looking at the vertical drop. We've got 201 meter vertical drop for GS. So hold on, let me go back. Do they have a Super G homologation?
I can't imagine that they do.
Well, no, because there's different levels of Super G. It's not World Cup Super G.
Well, it would have to be US Ski and Snowboard registered, not FIS. But yeah, the biggest thing they've got is Cannonball GS.
Yep.
And then they've got a Tiger GS.
Yeah.
They have a Red Hat GS.
Red Hat would be sick, but that's much further away. But okay. I've never raced on Red Hat.
Neither.
I haven't either.
Yeah, so we'd be a little shy for a classic, I think.
Well, we can start with a skate into the start.
Well,
That doesn't
the skate's not going to help with your vertical. I cringe asking this, but what happens if you do that vertical twice?
Oh, include the chairlift ride?
No. You go down, you ski down, then you skate back up a few hundred feet, and then you come back down. Throw on some skins.
I would do it.
No. We'll go better. Skate down into the tubing park. Go up the tubing hill.
And now we're really getting
below the base lodge.
We're way off track there.
Devin's probably shaking his head at us.
The slingshot start is at 155 and the upper start is at 201.
Yeah.
According to the map here.
And
what do we need?
What's the requirements for classics?
250. I'm going by memory and on my, second glass of wine. So
49 feet. That's 12 dump truck loads.
Okay, get after that, buddy.
That's a very helpful measurement.
And on the flip side, if it's non-FIS, we've got some flexibility in vertical drop. FIS you don't, but non-FIS you do. So yeah, we could make it work.
I think we're okay. So Sarah, date-wise, are we at a point where I can reach out to Canada?
Yeah, I mean, they Gunstock has not. We just need to send them this itinerary.
The specs, yeah, the specs and the logistics.
Stuff. And I have the emails, and it's just a matter of getting them the information that they've asked for. So the big thing is the itinerary of like what's going to be expected for hopefully Sunday. Their Sunday night they'll start building features, Monday training, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday racing.
Did you get the two documents I just sent over to you? One is an hourly schedule and one is the staffing list.
I did. I just got that. Yeah.
Perfect. And on the staffing list, especially, you can kind of see where previously we've relied on mountain staff, for chief of timing, race admin, versus our own positions, start ref, that sort of thing.
Okay.
What are the chances we have Jack Long?
I mean, he's local now, so if he's not there, I'll be very upset.
I think we should all.
He's more local than I am now.
Yeah, but he just got engaged.
So?
Yeah, so what? She skis.
Hey, what's your point? Dad's married and he still shows up.
Yeah, the last time he had a nephew and he disappeared for 3 months.
So Sarah, I think the question for Gunstock is what skill positions will you be providing? Mm-hmm. And, that'll kind of tell us what we need to fill in the holes for start ref, finish ref, starter, timing, so on. Chief of race, chief of course, all of those skill positions.
Ken, let me ask you this. So for a per diem item, what might those events cost per person? Do you have any experience with that?
Yeah, it's all over the map. TDs now get a $120 a day per diem, and we're normally the lowest paid person on the hill next to volunteers. Timers in Rocky, we're paying anywhere from 200 to some of the bigger areas, or in the bigger events, they're paying up to 400 to 500 a day. I think the timer at Nationals last year, I paid $250 a day. But if we can get the club or the ski area to commit to those, then it kind of tells us what we've got to chase and who we've got to find to fill those gaps, because you can't just throw a body into all of the positions. You can, like at finish ref and gate gate judges for sure. We do that all the time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we can't do that at timing. We've tried it and failed miserably. And a lot of times we'll even concede on the RA, and then, me and the timer will try to make all of the RA stuff come together. So I'd love to see timing. I would love to see an RA, and I would love to see a start ref, and at least a chief of course. A chief of course is someone who knows where all the tools are. They know where all the equipment is. They're going to coordinate getting us what we need to run the event. We can even wing it with a chief of race normally. Then I normally try to throw you in at referee. So that's kind of historically the way we back into it.
I just pulled the invoice from last year for Jeff White, and he was $350 per day.
Oh, is it 350?
It's 350 per day. Yep.
Thanks, Jeff. I was low on that one.
You're fine.
Well, what's really good is I know in the East it'll be less. No, everybody's getting paid less here.
Well, okay.
Oh boy.
But at least at the 350 mark, we have a concept of what that position might cost. And I agree, Ken, that the timing, RA, and TD are not areas that we should skimp. Although I'm thinking we're good for the TD, Ken.
Yeah, I think we have one. I think that his per diem costs, might have gone up. You might have to add a bottle of wine per day or something like that.
So yeah, I moved. I actually had the U16 championships here in Colorado, and I cancel. I give those up to another TD, and so I can come out and I'll do yours. And I've never charged per diem in all the years.
I would like to point out, all you have to do is tell us what you want to drink, and you will have as much as you need.
So
maybe not first thing in the morning.
I don't know who all was on, but I did get the Murin Telmark final assignment for TD this year. So I'm headed to the Telmark finals, which I've never TD'd anything in Murin, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I was told to don't turn my back on any of the French team, though. Yeah. After that protest last year, and they are still angry with me. So.
Oh God.
Figured they'd get over it by now, but we had a TD call a couple of weeks ago, and Neil was brutal.
Really? Wow.
Yep. Yep. Is what it is.
Well, okay, so we'll get you plenty of liquor and some armor.
Not for you. I'm not worried about your event.
No. I mean, so you can take it with you.
Oh, okay.
We'll get you some Kevlar.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we switch over? This is an easy one that I forgot we needed. So Sarah Carly, we need access to Instagram.
Okay. Who
Sarah,
has access right now?
You. Oh, we're hoping.
Probably true. Let me see. Okay.
Don't give it to me, but Sarah Godek wants to get re-accessed.
I can probably make that
I know that you had stopped posting, when the pandemic hit, but I mean, I feel like this is time to start posting again.
Yeah. Let me, what is the best way to get you I'll reset the password, and I hope the reset goes to me. And I'll text you a new.
And then I think it will ask probably for a number, I think, but.
All right, password. Oh, the reset goes to the info at USTSA, which I also get, but usually takes a second. So
that's fine.
In progress to get a new password.
Yeah.
We're moving forward. That's the only thing that matters.
Not a problem.
We realized that we wanted to redo Sarah was talking to me about it, and the who has access to it. And at the time, Carly, you were dormant.
MIA is a perfectly fine way to put that.
Being nice.
You don't have to be. It's okay.
Well, you weren't dead, so that's okay.
He's worried that if he's mean, you might leave again.
I won't leave again.
Then he has to put up.
No, we need the paperwork before you leave.
He's sick of putting up with me right now. So.
And Sarah, to be straight honest, and I'm doing it in front of the group, give me more of the paperwork. You don't have to be the only one doing it.
Well, it's up in Dropbox now, so you can
Yay. Okay.
yell at people about their contracts.
I'm old. I'm the coach. I don't mind doing that.
So have there been like a lot of people that haven't been responding, or?
There are a few that, will give me contracts, but not insurance cards, or will send in the contract, but not pay. It's just making sure all 3 boxes are checked.
Has anyone declined, I guess?
Only one outright decline, several no responses, although they were all from kids where I later got in touch with their parents, which is the way to do it. So should be pretty much a full list. There are a few on the Masters team that I actually haven't heard back from, Keith, that I can pass you the names of.
Yes, please. I'm going to guess one of them's Tabby because she sucks at it.
Yeah, one of them is Tabby.
Did you hear back from Sal Malone?
I did, although he was one of the first ones to get back to me. And then we got off on a conversation about his relationship with Bishop, which is awesome. I'm really excited for him. It's great.
Yeah,
he's gonna love working with them and doing a ton of crazy backcountry stuff.
But did he actually get to you the paperwork he needed?
A great personality for that. Sorry, what was the question?
Well, Sal.
Did he accept Did he accept a membership or a team placement, or does he owe you paperwork?
He does not owe me paperwork, and he did accept a team placement.
Yeah,
that's perfect to hear. I'm glad you made it happen.
Yeah,
he has a tendency to forget parts constantly. Not as bad as Tabby, but that's okay. Okay, what else? I mean, that's basically it. We don't have anything else because we only have one event.
Sorry, I was a little nervous there was going to be no team. Also, this summer was definitely not great with work, but so I definitely understand the going MIA.
So Sarah, Carly, what I want to do from this point is for next year, due to sponsorship challenges, I need to get the contracts out as soon as we have team decisions early. We can't wait until, well, this year it was Columbus Day. But regardless of that, September's too late. We got to get them out sooner so I can actually deal with sponsors. So right now, this is for the whole team. Sponsorship lead time on gear is twice what it's ever been. And so I'm already talking to Carbon about uniforms for next year. They're hoping they can delay it till the end of January, but they may not be able to do it any later than the end of December. How's that for scary? Bindings are already getting ready for their orders for next year. So that when it comes to the gear side of things, all those guys are 3 to 6 months longer than they have been. So I got to get information to them sooner. Like 22 design, I put in the order and I don't know. I'm hoping I get the order before Christmas. COVID's been awesome. well, for ski gear. For those who don't know, so POC last year had their entire inventory in a single crate on a shipping container that went away. It sunk off the coast of California last year. That's their own fault, putting it all in one box. But
I have nothing to say to that.
Yeah, that's just poor planning on their part. But we've been able to. I need to be able to get a team rostered everybody sooner, and I know that will help Devin out when it comes to the expert voice account that we have. Just makes it a little easier when communicating with them. But I truly don't mind taking handle on that stuff, and as the proverbial term would be, herding cats in a pool. That sound about right there, Sarah?
Sounds about right.
And notice I'm not talking to Ken about any of this because he's retired. And Ken, whatever you'd like to do, you're allowed to do.
Well, thank you for that permission. I appreciate it. Made note.
No. It's me encouraging any volunteer. Devin, on the other hand, no, he's got to do stuff.
I'm here for it.
I was gonna say Devin is sick and strung out on NyQuil, so we gotta
let him be. What do you need? You need my credit card?
We could probably get whatever we wanted from him.
Yes, we do. Ken needs the books flights to Murin.
Yeah, tack me on there too.
Actually, speaking about money, the membership portal, is that last time I was trying to get my USTSA membership, that was not, it was said it was closed because it was for this season. So the link on the website doesn't seem to be.
And Sarah, I can confirm that is still the case as of 3 minutes ago when I tried to fill out my paperwork that I may or may not still
doing
owe
last
people.
Minute paperwork.
I don't think this is last minute. I'm pretty sure we're long late at this point.
I'm just hoping we can just get this stuff going and then
true confessions
work on the other stuff. Good job, Jeff, though. Good job.
I'm not sure when I've actually done my paperwork on time, to be frankly honest. It's been years. Maybe since Gunstock Nationals.
I've been involved since 2012. It hasn't been on time yet.
Yeah,
but
well,
to be honest,
I think 2011 was on time because that's when I was still living with mom and dad.
There you go. But to be honest, I'm a little less worried about being late. I'm just pleased that you're in. It's not like you're registering for college. This is still telly. The fact that you're actually contact us is great. Trying to get the average telly skier to commit to anything is brutal. Thank God for racers. They're more commitment friendly. Jeff bailed. I don't have any more thoughts or questions or anything.
Right. Sorry, I'm just checking on the membership portal right now.
Sarah, you might be able to answer this quickly while you're doing that. Is for the FIS license, do I just need an account with USSA? I don't need membership with them, just a regular old account. It doesn't have to be an active member, and then I fill out the form, right?
Correct.
Right.
You do need to have it. It does need to be an active member. It can't be an inactive member. The reason for that is you do need to have your safe sport.
Right, but you don't have to be a USSA. I forget what the classification is.
You don't have to have a competitive membership.
Competitor's license, yeah.
License.
Yeah, you can be a regular member.
Yeah,
that's correct.
But do I have to renew that regular member? It just says not, like when I log in, it just says not active, not current.
It needs to say current.
Yeah, so that probably means that you don't have your Safe Sport paperwork in.
Okay.
Jeff, can you check that link in the chat?
Yeah, you'll also have to register as a general member.
So like when I go to register as a general member, I don't mean to like take over this.
No, it's all good.
Oh. Hey, the link works again. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so the Safe Sport will be given to you on the membership page. I go to like continue. It asks for my ethnicity, US citizen, all that good stuff. And then it asks what sport I need to be in. And that's alpine, snowboarding, freestyle skiing, free skiing, jumping, Nordic combined, cross country, alpine adaptive, cross country adaptive.
Do they have another?
Nope.
Logistically, I'd say just pick alpine. The Safe Sport part's going to be irrelevant on which one.
But then alpine, it then breaks it down for pick the membership type, which is like alpine competitor U16 and over, alpine coach, alpine master with requirements, alpine official, alpine volunteer, short-term alpine masters, short-term alpine masters comp. Those are the membership types under the sport of alpine. I'm just saying, I don't know. I want
to refer to, Ken, you're the, you're a coach. Why would you have any information on it?
So my answer to everyone else I deal with on the other side of the fence would be alpine competitor or alpine master. I guess I need to reach out to Jeff Wyman and see if there's a way that you can avoid because your competitor's license, like what, $110 this year, I think. Yeah. And is there a way to do like alpine volunteer? Huh?
I put alpine competitor into my cart and it's $225.
$225?
Yeah.
No, she selected a few there's other things clicked.
No, 16 and over is $200.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
And there's a late member fee right now for 25, so it's $225.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me check with Jeff Wyman and see if you can register as maybe a volunteer or one of the other US ski and snowboard levels. It's a lot less expensive.
Or so like there's the general membership, the non-competitor general membership, which is $35.
Yeah. I think that's what they've used in the past. Is that what you use, Jeff?
I'm looking, I was scrambling to look it up because I knew you were going to ask me that question. Yeah. So give me a sec.
I'm no good because I register as a coach and an official. So mine's like $250 anyways.
What official certifications do you have, Keith? You got referee?
I just have the referee, and I've been trying to go more. I don't have the time. They want those officials licenses, but they really want you to do it all for free, and I don't have the time.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Well, no, I've got more than official. I've got whatever you need to get the Ref 1. I got like CO1. There's 3 or 4 that you get as you move through the paperwork to get the Ref 1.
You get a CO and you get a JA, jury advisor.
Yeah.
So I picked the Alpine Volunteer one last year.
And that's $65.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that sounded about right.
Sarah,
I think
I'm
it
logging
used
in
to be like
see what mine is. One
$40,
second.
but that's the last one I have. Actually, that was from 2019, 2020. I haven't had a USSA license since then.
I haven't
You
either.
haven't,
I got my FIS license last year, but not my US. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't see any like payments though. I just have the member or the account.
Yeah, one of my hot buttons is they have a US ski and snowboard volunteer, and they charge you, volunteer or official. So they're asking you to pay money so you can give up your time for free to help them. It's like, come on, guys, we're having a hard time getting volunteers. Why do you keep charging them more every year? But anyway, that's not gone too far very successfully.
Ken, next year should be really interesting. When everyone on the hill, at least Alpine, is required to have some sort of credential.
So what they did was this year, they are requiring that everyone within the venue be checked against the Safe Sport disciplinary list that now has about 2,200 members in it. And so the RA is going nuts checking everybody.
Oh God.
So, yeah, they're going the wrong direction for sure.
Well, what about because aren't they supposed to mandate all gate judges have credentials? No, not this season, or next year. That's what I read.
Nah, they've been floating that out there for a while. The way they got around it is to create checking that disciplinary list. And that's anybody inside the venue. So that includes slippers, gate judges, patrol, everybody.
Well, here's the hard part. You piss off patrol, there's no event. Although they're so
covered under the mountain.
Yeah.
So they're not an issue.
Yeah. Although patrol in itself's a mess. They've had 3 CEOs this year for National Ski Patrol. But we're way off topic now. Any other thoughts, questions?
So, Sarah, did you get logged in? You good?
I mean, I just have to. Oh, which Sarah?
All of the above, because both of you'll need it.
You first.
That was a blanket statement, so to speak.
I was just saying, so I should go with Alpine volunteer.
Yeah, give that a go and see how that works.
Okay.
If it doesn't, shoot me a note and I'll reach out to Jeff Wyman at US Ski and Snowboard.
But I just have to, it's all for that completion of that program for Safe Sport or whatever.
Yeah, so you'll go through the Safe Sport and then you'll need to, then from that login account, you can get your FIS license.
I mean, I can get to the FIS registration page already, but.
Well, give it a try.
I was gonna say, do that. I know in the past I've gotten a FIS license without a USSA membership, and I'm not entirely sure that that's kosher, but.
I mean, I'll do both, but I'm just.
try the FIS only.
Okay.
Because that's going to answer a lot of questions that we'll get from other athletes. And Jeff, I think
has Sam gotten his yet? By chance?
Let's look on the FIS website and find out.
Yeah, go pull up his name.
I believe he
has. I think at one time we mandated that the board get volunteer US Ski and Snowboard just so they had the Safe Sport for insurance
purposes. Actually, you know what it says on the FIS registration page when you at the next to telemark, it says no membership required.
Oh, perfect.
And Sam has his, so he's active.
Okay.
So I just have to fill out this FIS form and submit it. It looks like.
Dad, you are correct that we were asking the board members, which is why I was curious that I didn't have one last year, to have Safe Sport and to have a USSA membership.
Well, because you can do Safe Sport through other organizations.
Yeah.
Like I had my Safe Sport certification through my lacrosse officiating.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know if we mandated it but Ken had it, I had it, Jack had it, at the time.
Yeah.
So would you like me to get it? I don't mind doing it, but if I don't have to do it,
it's highly recommended for anybody who's going to be interacting with athletes. So like, and especially you take such a leadership role when we're out on the hill.
I'm happy to take it. I just didn't realize it costs something, because I guess I had skipped over this part last year because I was just getting the FIS license, you know.
I would say don't prioritize it over other things you're doing.
So take a look at safesport.com and see if you can see what it costs just for an individual outside of an organization. And it might be less expensive to do that than to get a US Ski and Snowboard volunteer membership, and you get it for, you know, with the US Ski and Snowboard. So I think the goal is to have Safe Sport however you can get it.
Okay. That sounds good. I can do that.
How about our two French Californians that are both 16? If we move forward with them, how do we want to deal with them getting a FIS license?
We'll let them go directly to FIS, and they're under 18, so they don't need Safe Sport.
Okay, good. Oh, Sarah, it's because you're older now.
To say we've both been over 18 for a while.
I didn't start telemark till I was 23. I was late to the game.
23, Christ.
I was late to the game compared to Sarah Carley. She was barely driving a car by then. I was already out of college.
I was not driving a car. I was
14.
Yeah, I was 14.
So you weren't even driving a car, and I was already out of college.
Yeah.
Married. Sorry.
That's your own fault.
I know.
You're better now.
It's all good. Everybody's happy now.
Okay, on that note, do we have any other thoughts? Jeff lost
hopefully Gunstock brings that was my first race too.
I know a lot of people on this call were brought in at the Gunstock race.
Let's channel that energy and get another round.
We got to do something.
Another round of youngins or something.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a crude comment, but I won't.
You can do that off the recording.
Remember that Safe Sport comment that we were talking about at training?
There you go.
Devin, have you taken that? If not, I have some links to send you.
Although I've now met the people that helped create Safe Sport. It was really for the adults working with the younger athletes, as opposed to a bunch of adults on a dirty phone call.
Boy. The solution is just keep Devin quarantined, and he can't interact with the small children, then we're good.
I'm saying this meeting's adjourned.
Nice. So, all right.
Hey Keith, quick question to you. Were you able to get Sam Garber the letter that he needed for Seb?
Seb has two versions of the letter. One, which is us saying that he has the power to speak for Sam at a jury. And one is with more information about Sam's contract, our insurance policies, the global rescue policy that Sam has, how to get in contact with us, like just more generic information. And then one's like the official signed over, he's all yours, speak for him, do good things letter.
Got awesome.
Yeah.
If the other 2 or 3 athletes that are skiing with him at the World Cups that are from California, do they also need copies of that letter?
Yes.
They will, cool. But I can't give it to, I don't know their names. We don't know that they're officially skiing yet, but yes, once we confirm that to happen, we being the board / Keith can sign over his coaching duties and to make sure that Seb can speak on a jury and on their behalf.
Gotcha. Cool.
Something else I'm going to do we still have access to Global Rescue, Sarah, or shall I just have him reach out direct? Sam?
I have access through personal connections because they're local in Lebanon. If we're interested in more team things, which is the connection that I gave to Sam to track down if he wanted to.
Okay, good. No, I'm not worried. I don't really care about that. Just with Sam doing what he's doing. He needs to have European insurance to get the job done. U.S. medical insurance will not do it.
Yeah, and I had sent some of the my recommendation for the global rescue policy to his mom and dad.
We had the 3 of us had a conversation about it to make sure. I just wanted to see where he got with you on that.
Yeah.
Now I will say our French Californians, I'm assuming they'll have French health insurance and they'll be doing a lot better off. They have universal health care.
Yeah, if they're a French citizen, then they're probably not as worried about it because they have less work when it comes to universal health care. And
being that their parents are, I think mom is in California and dad is in France.
Right. Is one of we don't have to get into those details, but
Julian is his name.
Okay.
But what I'll do is, Ken, I'll start communicating with them, but as I have any questions, I'll make sure I link them to you and I at least, Ken.
Okay.
Just because you're a little more familiar with the FIS policies than I am over there. Okay.
It looks like the Safe Sport catalog has a Safe Sport trained, not affiliated.
It's extensive, but it's not actually.
It's like 90 minutes.
The first time doing it, it's a pain in the neck and it's going to take a while. I did it this year.
Every 4 years you go back to the 90-minute version. I had to do that this year.
I got out of it this year.
I think this is the Safe Sport Trained Core. It's their core course, I guess. Is that it?
Yep.
I'm guessing that's what it is. So on their website, it's $20.
Oh, there you go.
So just letting you know, that has been found.
Can you share a link to that in the chat for everyone? Sarah?
Or text message just in case.
You do have to create an account, but yes, I can.
Got it.
So, Ken, would we be able to have Sarah do an FIS license without having to go through USSA if she goes through Safe Sport directly?
This has nothing to do with Safe Sport.
Yeah, FIS has an option for us to apply without a member affiliation. So without a USSA affiliation.
So then the only reason we're doing that is because Sarah Godek's a board member.
Yes, that's where we've evolved to.
Oh, okay. just making sure I'm up to speed.
So I'll get that done.
Yeah.
As soon as
Ken, you'll like this. It's Safe Sport, not Swift Sport. Swift being me. Never mind. It's late.
So, I guess the other thing is like, I think that there's a lot to catch up on still, and like, there's still things to be done soon. I know that we were planning to maybe see some people on the 10th, right? When should we have our next meeting?
I personally would like to try to have the meeting sometime the week of the 19th. But I'll leave that up to you guys. There's no reason we couldn't go sooner.
I'm fine with that. I'm not traveling in December, so I can pretty much do whenever.
That's fine with me.
Do we want to say the 20th then? To be
All right.
specific.
Tuesday the 20th?
These Tuesdays seem to work okay for me.
As long as I'm not traveling, but I hopefully won't be traveling then. So
one of the things we can do is the idea that just as much as possible, we'll get together fairly regularly. And by getting together regularly like we did in the past, what it'll help do is as people travel and whatnot, there's going to be at least enough sharing of knowledge. So, for instance, Sarah Godek, if you're away, we can just grab what updates you need and just share them with the group. And then no one's behind. We're all going to miss stuff occasionally.
Yeah.
I'd ask Devin, but he's dying. Ken, you're retired. Are you okay with the 20th?
Here, let me check my calendar to make sure I'm available. Oh, yeah, I am.
Man, the number of times I've heard that joke.
You know what I can do? I can help. I'll FedEx you a bottle of wine.
The irony is that I've been saying that for a couple of months now, and my winter calendar is filling up with a lot of commitments. So I'm going to be busy, but it's going to be good busy.
Yeah, but you won't be bored.
I'm not going to be bored.
Nope.
And
all right.
Just remember that you're doing all of this voluntarily. You're signing yourself up for all of these things.
Don't remind him.
It's not like
Remind him after nationals this year.
So, Sarah, are you going to come out so you can hang out with me on a race course this year?
I was, in fact, right before this call, thinking about if I would like to be out there for a month or two again in January or February. So it's a strong possibility.
So yeah, I've got a speed event down in Durango at the Purgatory Ski Area.
When?
I'm going to be down there in January, mid-January.
What date?
Hold on.
I fly out on the 28th. I can always come down sooner.
Keith, I'm not convinced you ever actually come out to Colorado because I live in Denver and the airport's in Denver, and I've never once seen your face when you're out here, if not for nationals. So I'm not convinced you ever come out here.
Yeah, see, Denver is a place that you travel through.
Except for when your good buddy Jeff lives here and would buy you a beer. Ask Devin, he hit me up. He knows I know where the places to go for dinner are.
So January 17th through the 22nd, to answer your question, Keith.
Yep. Oh. No, I can't. That's too many weeks I'll be away from home. I'll get divorced.
All right.
Well, because I'd be out there because I'm there through the 5th of February.
Where are you going to be?
Vail.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got a gig in Vail. No, yeah, I do. That's in
your
March.
calendar really is full.
Honestly, he's more busy than I am this winter.
More busy?
More busy. Yeah, before you jumped on the call, I was telling him I go to Birds of Prey next week. And then I've got 3 events in January. But March, I've got March 1st to the 5th, I've got the Aspen Men's World Cup.
Oh, God. Then you fly in on the 6th.
To come out to see you guys. So I go Aspen, New Hampshire. Then I go back to Vail for a regional championship. And then I've got a day off. And then I go to Switzerland for the finals. So I've got 4 events with 1 day off between each one of them. So yeah, I'm staying busy, but it's gonna be fun busy. Heck.
It is. Yeah, Switzerland especially that'll be fun for you. Really cool.
We're almost in Europe at the same time, Ken. I'm on a plane to Levi, Finland on the 23rd of March.
Interski?
Yeah. So we're a bunch of poodles we're gonna prance around and share our stuff.
I will be there until I come home on the 27th of March.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of control of my schedule though. Although I will say my trips to Colorado are quite a bit cheaper than my one trip to Finland. The airfare is $1,400 to Finland. And right now I've got 3 trips to Colorado and my total cost for all 3 trips will be $910. Well, somebody else is paying, but whatever.
I was gonna say, I don't believe you. Just kidding.
Well, I got my last. So my trip to A Basin in October, I booked in April last year, and I got it for like $219 round trip.
Wow.
I have other people that waited until the month before, and their flights were $700. Serves them right. Anyway, I need to go to bed. Do we have any other thoughts or questions? Devin's probably already asleep.
Yeah.
Devin.
He turned his microphone on and then off again.
Yeah, I don't want to be made fun of anymore.
Oh, you picked the wrong sport for that.
I'll keep working to track down some financial models for you from past nationals, but I'll see what we can find.
I mean, I know these are things where I guess I just don't even know, like, because they're just asking for like what the estimate was maybe last time around. So I don't know.
Yeah, that I don't know that I can get you, unless. But
like what I guess
maybe
like,
ask Linda. She might still have that sort of stuff.
What do we typically end up paying for the typical, the 1 day of training, 3 days of race?
Yep, I can definitely pull Crotchet as a model, at least as a starting point, which is where those other spreadsheets that I just sent you came from. They're from 2020. Okay. So I'll pull the financial numbers for that too, find the invoices. And then Keith, what do you need for the 10th? You're gonna send out an email. Okay.
I'm gonna send out information to everybody. So anybody that wants to go, Ken, you're very much welcome. It's like skiing a race course out here. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to do it. Likely we're at Mount Snow just because it's very last minute.
You don't want to come down here to Butternut or Catamount?
I'd love to come down to Catamount if they want me to. I mean, that would be.
You can stay with me. I have a stove and lots of floor space.
I can also get a hotel.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, if you're in touch with either one of them, that'd be fine with me.
I'm in touch more with Butternut because I'm trying to start working with the race department. But
isn't that Tom Chase?
Catamount.
Isn't Butternut Tom Chase?
It is.
Do you need any help with that? I know I've known him for about 30 years.
Not yet, but I might take you up on it.
Be careful of the questions you ask. You might not be able to shut off the valve.
Fair enough.
He's more Gabby than I am.
That possible?
It is. You met Tabby.
That's true. But Catamount would be really cool. I would like to make some contacts there. One, because they're so close, and two, they seem really fun, and they seem like they could be a great telemark venue.
I've never actually skied Catamount, so I'm game.
They have good night skiing.
Great. Although, are they open?
They're not open yet. They're supposed to open on Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, let's. You know what? I'll send word. Butternuts does have some lodging that's actually not bad.
Yeah, I mean, you just stay in Great Barrington.
Yeah, I know. There's a bunch of lodging out there. How far are you willing to travel, Godek?
I hope to go to Europe twice this year.
No.
I know what you mean. I'm saying I'm good to travel.
like if I'm able to secure a venue that has gates, would that motivate more likelihood?
Of who?
You coming down to Great Barrington or Butternut?
No. If you're coming down just for the weekend, you come and stay with me. I'm 30 minutes from Butternut.
No, I'm not talking about where to stay.
Oh.
More motivation to want to come.
No, I'll come no matter what. All of my other training happens in the middle of the week, so where I'm in gates other days.
Oh, there you go. So I don't know about Catamount, but I can reach out to Tom Chase. I'm going to see him on Monday anyways. But I'll reach out to him to see if there's even a possibility that they'd want to have us come down there and play. Because at the moment, Mark Cham's like, I'll just buy you lift tickets wherever we go.
Oh my gosh. They're family. So sweet.
Yes, they're happy, and both the kids want to get more involved. So, well, Theo wants to get more involved with the tech side since he's getting deeper into the computer programs. So just saying. All right. Any other thoughts?
Unrelated, for the 10th, let me know what I can do. You'll send out the email though, Sarah. I'll see what I can get you for financials. We'll
go from there. Yay. So Devin, just turn off your mic to make sure you're not dead.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Oh, poor Devin.
All right. So does this time of night work for everybody? Because
this works for me.
Yeah,
it works great for me. All right. So I will set up a call for the 20th, and we will talk to everybody. Well, probably digitally a lot sooner than the 20th, but we'll see everybody on the 20th.
Sounds good.
Cool. Right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Ken.
All right. Good night.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Why does that stop?